Women's Health Center in Port Perry, and chiropractor Shawna Dingman, Port Perry's only chiropractic and functional health care center focused on women, children, and babies. Don't let health concerns hold you back. Dr. Shawna Dingman, chiropractor and functional health care practitioner since 2000. Ding, 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 man. There we are. It is 8:15, and Shawna Dingman does join us along with Scott Campsall from Okami Kai Karate. Good morning first, Shawna.
Good morning. Happy almost Christmas.
Yes, happy almost Christmas. Yes, I am, because I realized how much I haven't done yet. But that's okay. There's still time. Right, Scott? There's still time to do shopping?
Yeah, absolutely. According to what I saw in the traffic, we were texting yesterday.
Oh, I know. You said, hey, listen, can I get a helicopter? Because it's probably the only way to get around this town.
Yeah, well, that was that. I just thought with the traffic reports and everything, I was trying to suck up. But
well, I see. Yes. Well, I told you, you can do the old Les Nessman helicopter bit, but then you end up with a bruised chest. That's all.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Well, listen, Sean, and I guess that's part of it too, right? As we get ready for the holidays, that anxieties, stresses tend to go up. Whether it's I got to do last minute shopping. Normally, it's we're gathering all the family together, and I have to get that all together. But it's almost a reverse. It's like bizarro world this year because we're not getting together, or at least not supposed to be getting together.
Yeah, I've heard people say they feel like they're living in a time warp right now where it's, like everybody's just kind of walking around in circles, not really sure what to do because we've never had this before. So, I think talking about stress levels around the holidays, that's always a big topic, particularly for women. I can't really speak to what it's like to be a man coming up to Christmas.
Oh, we don't worry until it's like midnight Christmas Day. Yeah.
When is Christmas this year?
That's kind of what it looks like on the outside to us, but I certainly didn't want to voice that unless you did. But for us, we're thinking about it typically weeks and months in advance because we're already starting to think about what we need to, groceries we need to get, all the gifts that we need to buy, making sure that mothers and mothers-in-law and great aunts and cousins and everybody has their cards and parcels and gifts and checks are written to nephews and nieces that are out of town and all those different kinds of things. So it usually starts about mid-November that I start to see women's shoulders getting tighter and the stress levels starting to rise, but usually by this particular time where you're just a couple of days before Christmas, women are vibrating at a particularly unique energy.
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm feeling that.
Yeah,
and I do. Yeah.
This year we've got this double whammy, right? So there's the uncertainty, there's the anxiety, and there's been a low to moderate level of anxiety this whole year, just with everything that's going on. And now that's all ramped up in particular over the last few weeks with news and numbers and lockdown and all that.
And are you hearing about family conflicts because of the lockdowns and the requests that people not gather? Because maybe one side, hey, right, we shouldn't. And the other one going, the heck with it. We're all getting together.
Yes, although I'll be honest with you, Dan, I think most people are really just trying to follow the rules. I have heard a few people talk about that, but it hasn't really been a big deal. I have a couple of patients who are therapists, and they've said that for them, their appointment books are just crazy busy like they've never seen before. So I think that I'm not sure if it's family conflict so much, but just there's so much grief. There's so much grief and loss around everything that's going on that I'm sure that makes the home environment ripe for family conflict, particularly between husbands and wives and probably between parents and teenagers or adult children.
Yeah, I think that's where maybe more of the conflict may come from, and it may be young adults, whether they're in college or whatever, and that conflict between them and parents and or grandparents in viewing lockdowns and things like that.
Well, a lot of us who have kids who are in college or university where they would normally be living away from home have been home all fall, and that creates a completely different dynamic in the house.
Well, there's your own stress right there.
Right there.
Exactly. Well, so I'm thinking, the way to solve all this is sugar cookies.
Right.
Would I be right?
Well,
Wow, that was a good lead.
You know what? Let's say yes and no, which sounds funny coming from a healthcare practitioner because I tend to think sugar is bad. We get way too much sugar in our diet. But that being said, I think the theme of the things that we've talked about and all the radio segments that we've done together this whole year is balance. And as human beings, we get a lot of joy out of food. We get a lot of joy in our family gatherings over food. And I think it's important to be able to enjoy that. So, before Scott called me and we got patched in for this interview, I'm actually in the process right now of baking sugar cookies because my oldest son is coming home from university and I want to bake something special for him that when he walks through the door this morning, he can still smell it in the kitchen and go, Mom baked me cookies. So we have lots of sugary stuff in the house right now, and we'll enjoy it over the holidays, but it has to be balanced. So, yes, for sure, enjoy the sugar cookies, enjoy the chocolates. I plan on having Baileys in my coffee over Christmas, all those things. But have your salads, have your vegetables, have your smoothies. Make sure you're hitting your workouts still. There has to be balance in everything.
Right. And I think probably the secret, too, is to take time to enjoy it. We get running and it's like, I had a meal. Okay, I have food in my stomach. You didn't really have a meal. You didn't enjoy the meal because you didn't have time. Whereas now we are going to have time, aren't we?
We're going to have lots of time. Yeah, it's funny, there's this whole movement toward, they call it intentional eating, which is really funny because I'm sure never before in the history of mankind have people been told, it's really important that you sit down and you actually chew your food and, sit with your family and think about what you're actually eating. I'm sure that that's something that was just a normal part of eating since the beginning of time until fairly recently. But now we do have to be told eating isn't just about what is going in your mouth and coming into your stomach. It's also about how you're doing it and what your mind is like while you are doing it. And you're right, not rushing things. So I think with everything that's going on right now, one of the things I've been telling my patients in the last couple of days is just shut down thinking about what's going on in the wider world around you for a little while.
You can say it. Close off the news.
Turn off the news. Stop looking at the numbers. We have to follow these rules about the lockdown, and I really think everybody should. We all have to do what we're asked to do. So we're homebound. Enjoy it. Turn off everything else. Forget about what's going on in the world, and I call it zooming in. So zoom in on what is happening in the four walls of your home. Really focus on your kids, on the conversations that you're able to have with them. If you've got family at home, spouses, kids, whatever, hug them lots. We need human touch, and we've been so deprived of the normal aspects of human touch this year. So make sure you're hugging and cuddling lots.
Bubble hugs.
Bubble hugs.
People in your bubbles.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and for food, take the time to sit. Hey, it's an activity that you can do now. So make it a thing where for lunch, everybody sits down and we actually sit and talk and enjoy the food and maybe even talk about the food, plan the food, prepare the food together, clean up the meal together. I think there are lots of things that we can do when we're really just focusing in on the people that are right in front of us that can help to lift our spirits and help us to practice that idea of gratitude, because we really do have so much to be grateful for.
Right. And
do you find that as a business owner that was something that you were having a tough time dealing with, was just the overall lack of control over what was happening as far as lockdowns and are we in red control and all of that?
Yeah. And Scott, you and I, we both feel that, right? When you all of a sudden are told with not very much notice, hey, by the way, in a day or two or possibly tomorrow, you don't get to go into your office. That's hard.
Yeah. Now, what is your status going into the lockdown?
Yeah, it's a great question. That's actually a question I've been fielding a lot over the last couple of days is what happens with practice. So chiropractors are regulated healthcare professionals. All regulated healthcare professionals are able to practice as they normally do. So for me personally, for us as chiropractors, this does not affect our practice at all. Your dentist, your optometrist, your psychologist, your physiotherapist, all of those people who you would normally go to your appointments shouldn't change. And then that's the case. So I am actually taking time off next week, not because of COVID, just because I need a vacation. But everything is operating as normal between Christmas and New Year's for everybody in the regulated healthcare profession. So I think it's really important for everybody to know that if the government acknowledges that there are no extra restrictions in this lockdown on your healthcare team, right? We already have all of our protocols in place. And so the government is acknowledging your protocols are awesome. It's a safe place to be, and it's a good thing for people to keep up with their healthcare appointments. So this is not a reason for you to cancel appointments or start missing the things that help you take care of your health, because if ever we have ever needed to have really great health, it's now.
Right. I'm interested to know, I mean, Scott, you guys are closing down. It's and this was pre-lockdown. You had made that decision to take some time. For somebody like Scott, who is so active every single day, and now it's like, okay, I just want to let it go. How do you find that balance because of how active Scott normally is, and where is the balance for someone like that?
It's going to be good.
Right?
I'm totally glued in.
As opposed to, okay, we're putting the feet up and talk to me in 3 weeks and I haven't done a thing, or is that possible for you, Scott?
Like that.
No, but is it possible for you because of the way, that you were wired as far as doing the work that you do on a regular basis?
Yeah, but this was more like with us. It was there was a bunch of factors like that. We sort of figured that lockdown was happening, and you and I joked about it at one point. I said, "You can't fire us. We quit."
Right. But personally, I'm thinking about it because and I am trying to take next week off as well, and it's the first downtime I've had since our last Hits Fest. So it's been a long time since I've had any vacation time, and that initial thing is okay. I just got to stop. Boom, and you stop. But then you're not feeling good, and I'm sure, Shawna, you could speak to that, and you're going, okay, why am I not feeling good? I should be. I'm not doing anything. I'm relaxing. But I think it's the way you're wired, too, that you have to do something. Does that make sense?
Totally. Scott, do you want to speak to that, or do you want me to?
Well, I don't know, but to me it wasn't like we've had a couple of days off already, and no, I'm working out today,
right,
because exactly what you said. I don't want to feel crappy, and I think Sean is saying everything that makes a lot of sense. There's got to be a balance, like you just can't sit around I don't know, I can't just sit around, but I think there's also a relief of I don't have to have a lesson plan tonight. I don't have to be accountable to anything, as far as, okay, I'm teaching from 5 to 9, like that in itself is just a mental relief.
Right. So, and that's where that balance comes in. And now, I guess you're your best arbitrator or arbiter as far as that's concerned, Shawna, in just reading your body.
Yes and no. I have a husband who's really crazy active, and I find he's my accountability partner. I've always, all of our marriage, I've mostly just tried to keep up with him. So I think partners can be good for each other. I think there are a lot of times where I kind of feel like, Scott, it's a bit of a relief to not have any kind of structure in my day for a week or 2 weeks or whatever the vacation is. I feel like I kind of need that I don't have to get up and get dressed today and go to work and do these things, but I can choose to do whatever I want to do. So I like to be active, and I think it's important. I think, yes, we all have to listen to our bodies, and I think there are a lot of people who are just feeling burnt out right now. So it's important. If your body's telling you it's time to rest, then please rest. But I also think that it's important to at least move during the day. Go for a walk. Take pets are great for that. Take a dog for a walk. Do those kinds of things. But we typically don't need more than a couple of days of real rest if we're feeling burnt out before it's time to get active again. And I even think just doing a 10 or 15 minute workout, and it doesn't have to be high intensity. It can just be some weights, or not weights, functional training. Get down and do some squats and some lunges and some push-ups, or wall push-ups, those kinds of things, just to keep your body moving. But if for nothing else, get out and walk. Walking is fantastic. There isn't anything that a walk won't help. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you're taking time off, you're doing it to feel better. So why, but just being a vegetable that's not going to make you feel better. So that workout or that activity that you're talking about, that's a contributing part to making yourself feel better while you're taking the time off.
I like that. And a great way to wrap things up. Well, listen, I just want to wish both of you a Merry Christmas, a merry, balanced, active Christmas. How is that?
Yes, excellent. And to you guys too.
And I will try and follow those words as well myself. And I say the operative word being there, try.
Try. Yeah.
Yes.
That's all we can do.
We'll be working on it.
Pictures of you walking the dog. It's not like you're a vegetable either.
No. The dog will get me moving, and actually, that is in my plan tomorrow night. Hopefully, it's during the snow, walking down by the lake, and it's as good physically as it is mentally. I think.
Absolutely.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and doing something like that. Guys, have a Merry Christmas, and we will reconvene in the new year.
Yeah, Merry
Sounds
Christmas.
good. You guys too. Enjoy your break.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye. That is Scott Campsall from Okami Kai Karate and Shawna Dingman from Elevate Women's Health in Port Perry, our Wellness Wednesday segment.